Hi there everyone, Lars here, bringing in the new year with a writer's rant, brought to you by Camille's Harem. Not just a podcast for novice writers by novice writers, but also a YouTube channel by novice writers for novice writers. Because writing is an adventure, it's more fun with friends. And I saw something recently that just made me scowl, made my blood boil a little bit. And it was, 2022 has been so hard. So, when 2023 rolls around, we are going to tiptoe quietly in, make sure everything is fine, and just quietly come into the new year. Basically saying, don't get up your hopes, prepare for the worst, and yeah, you know what, I can understand, for some people, the world has literally been falling apart since 2020, for some people even well before that. Things have been getting pretty hard. There's been some bad stuff going on out there in the world. But the fact of the matter is that if you allow that kind of, we'd say in German, Einstellung, or in English, this perception of the world to dominate your thinking, then yeah, you are going to think that 2023 is going to absolutely suck. And if you go into the new year with that particular mentality, well, guess what? Your writing is going to suck. And no, I'm not going to hold my blows with this particular one, because that is absolutely true. If you have a pessimistic outview on what's going to happen with the world and yourself, that is immediately going to reflect in your own work, because you're not going to be motivated. You're going to be pessimistic. You're going to do things wrong. You're just be like, oh, well, life just sucks. I suck. Everything's bad. And this stunts your ability to improve, stunts your ability to create, to be imaginative. I want you to stop it. 2023, even with all of the crazy stuff that is going to happen in it, which we don't know yet because we don't have a crystal ball, guess what? It's your year to seize. You can do something amazing with it. I want you to have a positive outlook. And yes, that can be difficult. That's coming from a guy who deals with depression. Yes, I do. And I have to work hard at it sometimes. But you know what? It is very possible to have a positive outlook on what is going to happen in your life with the things that you can control. And one of the things that, as an author, that you are able to control is your own writing. And I don't want to hear anything about, oh, writer's block or fear, or I don't have the time. Guess what? I have the remedies right here for you. If you fear what's going to happen, stop it. Fear is this thing that encompasses what you believe could happen, but which isn't happening. And in fact, actually, once that horrible thing is happening, the fear goes out the window. It's replaced by the stark reality. If you fear a monster coming down through your attic door and devouring you, well, guess what? There's no monster coming down through your attic to devour you, and if it does, your fear goes out the window. It's now fight or flight. So be prepared. If you want to overcome fear, make good goals and start working towards those goals. Challenge yourself. Say, this is going to be my year. 2023 is going to be my year. If I got almost no writing done last year, I'm going to double it. I only got 5 pages written. I'm going to write 10 this year. And believe you me, you can easily accomplish that. And once you've hit 10, you're like, oh my gosh, I've done so well. I have so much more of the year left to do. Huzzah! I'm going to seize this year. Set for yourself goals that push you. Goals that are reasonable, though, at the same time. And goals that have plans for how you're going to accomplish that. In order to overcome fear, come up with a plan. That monster is going to come through my attic door. What am I going to do? Well, luckily, I sleep with a teddy bear, and that teddy bear has an Uzi with it. No more monster. Or I know exactly how I'm going to jump out my window, and I already have a mattress there, so that way I can have a nice soft landing, and I'm going to run over to neighbor Bob's house, and Bob is going to protect me from that monster. Have a plan. Have goals. And when you do that, fear goes out the window. Unless, of course, you don't do anything with those goals, and then that's on you. And then that fear will remain. There's so many people who are crippled by the fear of what will happen that they never act upon good goals. I've been watching a lot of lectures recently on history and on great leaders, and this is one of the things that I've seen is that what cripples potentially great people is this fear, and they never act on the goals and the plans that they actually have laid out in front of them. They're like, oh, it will never work. And they turn away. Well, what was all that work for? Stop it. Stop fearing the future. Make goals, make plans, and work towards them. And if you fail, that's okay. It's okay to fail. Don't be afraid to fail. Some of our best lessons come from failures. So pick yourself up, brush yourself off, and continue pushing forward. You can succeed. You can do it. Believe you me. You can do it. You can overcome all that. Now, another thing that I don't want to hear about not being able to seize 2023 is I don't have time. We all have the same amount of time in our lives. And you'd be surprised how much time you're wasting. Sometimes I think I'm working my tail off, and I then realize, holy cow, I've actually been wasting a whole lot of time. And I'm going to tell you guys a secret, and I'm not going to charge you for it. I'm not going to have you pay $100 to come to my TED Talk. I'm giving this to you for free. You have time for what you make time for. Yes, absolutely. And sometimes some of the things that you want to do, you actually don't even have to dedicate a whole bunch of time to. You want to just write 1 page a day? You know what? Dedicate like 15 minutes to half an hour. I guarantee that you have 15 minutes to half an hour to start writing 1 page. If you wanted to get those 10 pages of writing done within a year, you can do that by just setting aside 15 minutes to half an hour a day to write. There are things that you are doing that you don't really necessarily need to do, or things that you like doing that just eat up time. Get off TikTok, get off Twitter, get off Facebook for a little bit and do something else. Sometimes, you know what? You're having a whole lot of fun reading your books, which is great. Keep on reading those books, but you're letting all that time reading books overwhelm the time that you should have for other things like your self-care, your personal hygiene, writing, taking your car in for its oil change, or doing the oil change yourself. Give yourself time to do the things that you need to do. You have plenty of time. And if you can't get something reasonably done in 1 day, it is okay to then make time on another day to do what you want to do. You have plenty of time. You're not just stuck in 24-hour increments and those minutes are just running through your fingers. That can happen if you don't utilize your time, if you don't set schedules for yourself. You have plenty of time to write. You have plenty of time for all the things that you want to do. Yes, I understand what it's like to work a full-time job. There are people who are working 2 jobs in order to make ends meet. But even then, you still have time, if even just 15 minutes. I had a student who once said, Mr. Jensen, I can't do anything. I just do not have any time whatsoever beyond school, work, and my girlfriend. And I was like, oh, really? Well, I see that you're wasting time in my class doing betting on the stock exchange and looking up things that you probably shouldn't be on your phone in my class. You are making time for those things when you could be making time for my class or making time for things that will actually matter in the long run. And he's like, well, I'm tied to my girlfriend at the hip all of my free time. Like, that's not true. No, you're making up excuses. It's very easy to come up with excuses for why you don't have time. Everyone does it. I do it. But that's still not okay. If you want to write this year, set for yourself time to write. Give yourself small goals to aim for. And in fact, I'm also going to tell you something else. Don't take more time than you need. That's actually something that I am trying to do this year with my writing. I actually have it set for what I want to write and how much I want to write. And I've told myself, you really probably shouldn't go beyond this. It's okay. In order to avoid burnout, only write like 1,000 words this particular day and 2,000 words this day. You don't have to try to cram 5,000 words all into one go because that's exhausting. Make yourself a reasonable window of time to write 1,000 words. I can write 1,000 words within an hour. Boom. I've set aside for myself an hour to do a goal that I know I can reasonably reach. And I can make an hour in my busy day to do that. And if I can't have that hour, what can I then do in order to give myself a window of time to still write, whether it be on another day or maybe shrinking that hour to half an hour? But again, coming back to it, you have time for what you want to make time for. Remember that, and you will go far in this life with that bit of advice. And the last thing that I threw out there for, I just can't seize 2023. I've got writer's block, Well, I've recently been talking about this, but I'll bring it up again. Ask questions. Ask questions about your story. Ask questions about the life and the world that's happening around you. Explore possibilities. Writer's block is usually because we've become so tunnel vision focused that we get stuck on something. We run into a roadblock of some kind. We've run into a wall, and that happens for every single one of us. But because we have blinders on, we don't realize that the edge to go around that wall is like 3 feet off to the left. That's what happens when you have tunnel vision. In order to break away that tunnel vision, you need to be like, okay, I've got these blinders on. Well, what's to my right and to my left? What's up above me? Oh, look at that. That's a really beautiful blue sky, and I love those white fluffy clouds. Where do those clouds come from? Ooh, what does that cloud look like? Look off to my left. That's a nice car. What is that car? I don't know a whole lot about cars. Maybe I should learn some more about cars. Look to my right. That's a lovely couple right there making out on that bench. Who are they? What's their story? How did they get together? Having questions allows you to see more of the world, come up with stories, and then to realize, oh look, there's the end of the roadblock. I will go around and I have solved my problem. If you want to overcome writer's block, ask questions. Ask questions about your story, ask questions about yourself, ask questions about the world around you, about the people in your life. Go pursuing knowledge. That is how you will defeat writer's block. I have not seen this fail once. And I know that the one person who's told me that it did fail was trying very, very hard to prove me wrong. I walked them through this exercise of asking questions, and it led them right then and there down a path of discovering something new and something that helped them to already start overcoming that writer's block, even though what they were looking at had absolutely nothing to do with their story. That is the power of asking questions. Now, I hope that you've noticed something right here. All of these things, from setting plans and goals, overcoming your own fear, asking questions, and making time, all of that is within your power. 2023 is your year. It is in your hands. It is Play-Doh to mold to your will. You just have to be willing to put in the time and the effort to do it. And I know that you can. Stop being pessimistic, stop fearing the future, stop believing that 2023 is going to be the absolute worst year ever. 2023 could wipe out all of our beloved Hollywood actors. 2023 could bring down wormwood and poison the ocean. 2023 could be the year that zombies arise and begin to wipe out the population. And I can guarantee you this, that everything that I've told you about would still help you find fulfillment and meaning even in those worst situations, because those are things that you have power over. And believe it or not, the things that you have power over are going to be the things that actually bring the most joy and meaning and fulfillment to your life than all the other stuff. Don't let other people or the world ruin 2023 for you. 2023 is your oyster. Crack it open, get that pearl out that you deserve, and do something amazing with it, because that is all in your power. Whew. All right, so there's my little motivational rant for the beginning of 2023. I hope that you all will have an absolutely fantastic year. On our subreddit, I'm actually going to post my goals and some of my plans for this year. It's going to be pretty wild and a lot of work, but I'm excited. I'm excited to get to work and to do some amazing things with some amazing stories and share that all with you guys. And if you'd like to, please let me know in the comment section below what your plans and goals are for 2023 and how you're going to make the most of this year. I'm really looking forward to seeing what you guys have to say. And if you're looking for more writing advice, please check out our podcast, Camille's Harem, found on Podbean, iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, the works. We also have writing exercises for you to check out over at our Pinterest page. And if you would like to support us, please feel free to subscribe. Comment down again in the comments. Let us know what you're thinking, what kinds of advice you are looking for as a writer. What would you like to see us cover here on our channel? We've got some big stuff coming out this year, so I'm hoping that you guys will stick around for this journey that we call writing. And we also have books over over at Amazon that you can check out, books that we have self-published. Please give them a look. Links for all that stuff and more are in the description below. And until the next video, y'all, tschüss.